So unless you've been living under a rock for the last few months, you've seen this guy behind me. It's DKoldies. There's been a lot of people speculating back and forth. Is it a scam? Is it not a scam? Here's him saying it.
Is DKoldies a scam? No.
Are you sure about that?
And I thought I would like to give my 2 cents in. Let's jump right into it, and there's a lot of stuff to cover, so let's hit it up. So we're starting off on at least a positive note for this video. This is based on their customer service on what they do when they have errors. It's a small company, so we kind of expect them to have decent customer service, but at least let's give them the benefit of the doubt and start from here. And we got some more videos after this, so let's take a look and see what they do.
DKoldies mail time. It looks like Grant from Massachusetts wrote a letter, and he says, "Oh no, there's a problem here. We gotta fix this." So Justin, Grant got his PlayStation 2 controller, but there were cuts in the wire. How could?
And see, that's one of those vacuum cuts. I remember those from back in the day when your mom told you to pick up your controller and you didn't. And that's typically what would happen. Really easy to catch. It's not really even a human error. It's one of those things where no one was checking anything. But let's see what their resolutions were.
Something like this happened.
So we have checks in place to keep this from happening, but let's
That no one followed.
take this one slip through.
Well, what can we do for Grant?
I'm going to make a replacement order for him. He can keep what he has. We're going to expedite the shipping for the replacement order.
So you can keep your near trash. Cool. They're easy to fix, and it's something that you could fix on your own if you were someone who had technicians and stuff like that. It's not hard to replace those controllers' cables. You can even get a better cable and put it on there. So it's near trash though to that guy.
I'm going to add some
Or
store credit
lady.
to his account.
So what you're saying is he can keep his stuff, plus we're sending him new stuff, and he gets a store credit on top of it?
That's what you should do when you have a mistake like that. But the problem is they're running into a lot of mistakes as of late. So it's not really a human error. It's more like a company-wide error. But we'll see if we look into that further.
Well, Justin, what can we do to stop this going forward?
Add another
ABL,
check to
CPL.
stop this from happening to anybody else.
So everything's going to get an additional check before it
You
gets shipped
don't
out?
need an additional check. You need to follow the actual checks that you already had. That's the problem. Not an additional check to actually do your job.
I think that sounds great. We try to do the best we can, but sometimes mistakes will happen. We're always looking for ways to solve the customer's issue and then find a way to make sure it'll never happen again. If you have...
Well, that's good customer service at that end. We'll continue on.
People saying that it's overpriced. So let me explain how it goes. Right now, this is normally...
A lot of people are saying it's overpriced, and that's based... the overpricedness seems okay to certain people based on the fact that these consoles are labeled as refurbished or cleaned and almost brand new type thing, where you don't get the real benefit of the doubt from other places for that.
the slow time here in our shop, so we don't have as much stock on hand. But when things started blowing up for us just in the past few months, we had to go out to refill our supply. When we have to be buying like that, kind of in a frenzy, we'll wind up having to pay more for the item.
Yeah, but when you buy in a frenzy and you're taking in a lot of inventory, it's hard then to manage your stock and make sure everything's clean and refurbished. And that's the main goal of your guys' company, is to refurb and clean units and make sure that they're all in 100% working condition. That's why people or a chunk of people are willing to spend 3 times the price on certain things, because they know it's good. And if you're not doing that, you're not worth the extra money.
Which means we have to list them for more. But as things start to settle out, our supply starts to level off with demand, those prices can come back down. We want prices to be as low as possible too. We sell more that way.
Every day, tons of new collections get...
And this one's in a different resolution, so let me fix that. So here's the last video from their side we'll be taking a look at. It is them proving people wrong, saying they actually do refurbish consoles. I might show you a little bit of some other people's videos on showing that they really don't, but here's what their procedures and stuff are in place for.
sold to us here at DKoldies. Let's take a look at this one, for example, and let's check out everything that has to happen to this
simple
Wii
Wii
before we can list it for sale and it finds a new home. First, it gets picked up by our testing department and it gets thoroughly checked out to see if there's anything that needs to be repaired.
And that kind of scares me right there. I don't think anyone's noticed that. I noticed it right here. These look like those stickers that they've been putting on the bottom of their consoles next to the testing part of their business. I wouldn't have it there because that leads to errors. It could lead to it to not get to the dusting department. It leads to other procedures. Like I would have a second testing facility of testing for ingress and egress. So when one machine comes in, you test it, and then it goes to the cleaning department or dusting department, and then it gets tested again because it's going to be taken apart. You don't want to test it just once.
In this case, the Wii isn't reading discs, so it's going to need to head to our repairs department to get a new laser installed. Our technician Sean opens up the console, and while it's open, he'll blow out any dust or debris that may be inside.
My question is, why does he have those full drills there? And he should have a pencil drill for type of this equipment, but yeah.
Then he'll clean out the rest of the internals, like all the blades on the fan.
Okay, and right now, if you notice, there's barely any plastic on this unit. This is where the plastic should be cleaned, because there's no electronics near it. If you can clean it now, perfect, easy. Then you don't have to use magic eraser, and you don't have to use anything super abrasive, because you don't worry about it getting on any electronics, so you can use stuff that actually can break down a lot of those gross crud that was on it that you saw before.
Now he'll install the new disk drive and then test it out to make sure it's working.
He's testing it right. Good job there. He didn't put everything back together to make sure that it was completely functional. You just put it back to the point where it can actually run, and that way you don't waste anyone's time. Good. That's actually pretty decent.
And great, it's now reading discs again. Now it's time to put it all back together. And it gets passed off to Steph and our cleaning team.
That should have been clean when it was taken apart, and because she's about to use a magic eraser, and those love eating through the shiny coating on any plastics or anything.
In the hands of a professional,
There
the
it
magic
is.
eraser can get rid of any dirt without damaging the finish.
That's not true. Magic eraser is essentially just sandpaper. And go be gone, dude. You should just go be gone it when it was taken apart. It was already taken apart.
And a toothbrush works great for getting in those small grooves. that
Yeah,
run
and we
around the
put that
sides of the
liquid on
Wii.
there to show that, so you can't really see it. The clear coat was damaged. Great.
A Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol will work great for cleaning out the controller and memory card ports.
Oh, just go be gone, dude. Just go be gone it. Now you're getting water in there.
Then she'll make sure the Wii has the 2 doors that go on it. And now that it's looking great, it's ready to list for sale. Okay, now
It's not ready to list for sale. You have to retest it from there. That's test 2, electric boogaloo. Because the second you start taking things apart, cleaning it, wiping it down with harsh chemicals and stuff like that, you have to retest that. It is not done, and that's another step you guys are missing.
that it's
This
been
is
tested,
this is your whole bread and butter.
repaired, and cleaned, it's ready to be listed.
Yeah, tested, repaired, and cleaned, not tested again. You want to go repaired, cleaned, tested. Tested, repaired, clean, tested. That should be your guys' motto. It's not. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why you guys are charging the prices you guys are without that being your motto. That's why people have a problem right now. And I'm not wasting my money on the console that I'm pretty sure is going to be dirty when I get it. It's not worth my time or money. Okay, so let's look at their pricing compared to some of their competitors. Okay, so right here is all the GameCubes that have been sold on eBay in the last few days, and they're $124 for buy it now, or $125 buy it now for $22 shipping, and you got 6 games, 2 controllers, and everything included. Another one for 110 for $20 shipping. Free shipping on this one for let's see here. You got a Lot 007 Marvel with 2 controllers, so you got 2 games minimum, and you got 2 controllers, and looks like they're all first-party controllers. So about $100 for some games and stuff. And if you click over here, so you got the 2 game bundles with Smash and stuff for $350. A single game of Mario for $260, and one of them was 007. So that's actually a pretty good game. You got the Smash, like even just the game console by itself was more expensive than the one that we saw with 6 games and 2 controllers. It was 1 game, 1 controller, and 1 thing, and that one is $130, and the other one above it is $165. I'm not really 100% sure what the difference is. I don't know why one's discounted. Probably one is cosmetically flawed or has a third-party controller. The games are in used condition. They're all in used condition. Oh, with cosmetic flaws. So that's a cosmetic flaw one that is at $125 or $130. So their prices are almost double to what that you will see on eBay right now, which is kind of bonkers. Like even this one is right around the same price as the one that had right here, this guy, which has 2 controllers and 6 games. That's not even the same ballpark. Like even if only half the games work, you're still on a way better note because the games on there are not cheap either. So that's what we're dealing with. Is they're probably just as cleaned and just as tested based on the video we just seen. Okay, so this video is from Review Tech USA. He is kind of a bigger YouTuber. He has done I think like 3 or 4 videos on DKoldies so far, and every single time he has bought a console. Luckily he has sponsors where I don't, so he's buying the consoles, and I kind of want to see what he gets from them. It's supposed to be on NES. There's a lot of stuff that you got to go into when you refurb an NES. So basically you have to take it all apart, clean everything, and then replace every single capacitor in it. Usually because they start to leak over time, because those machines were made when I think I was like 3 or even younger. I don't remember. But capacitors sitting around that long tend to bulge or leak, and that's not good for anyone. If it wasn't done, it wasn't refurbed. So let's take a look.
Box is kind of in my face, so there's that. So here we got an Ace. Oh no, really? You couldn't get an actual? These adapters suck. They.
So the send in there's a 3-in-1 generic adapter. I'm more interested in when he takes it apart though. How's that guy again?
Nope, dirty. Maybe up top. Contrast.
Okay, so the contacts on the console itself are dirty, which is why you always had to blow them back in the day.
But watch when you pop up the cartridge slot.
Okay, he's about to take it apart here.
All right, I'm back and dressed even sexier now. I had to find a screwdriver that would fit in the holes of the NES. They do not use the original screws, DKoldies. They use Phillips head. So,
to be fair, the original NES did use Phillips head screws. He just, everyone thinks of tri-head, but that came way later.
Let's get in here and see how much refurbishing they did.
I'm glad he time loops taking that thing apart.
Alright, so I pulled off. It is a new 72 pin connector. As you see, it's nice and shiny.
It's on the bright side. Yeah, it was dirty, but they replaced it.
There, but here is the motherboard. It looks clean. I have to say, at least the internals on this.
It does look clean. It doesn't look like the caps are changed though. Just based on that solder, it's not fresh. Those been there for a minute.
Look okay, and I'm not seeing there any. All the caps caps don't look swollen. But the $1,000,000 question is, with all the other things they neglected here, is this just a lucky motherboard? You know what I mean? Where it just didn't get dust inside of it. So, all right, the board is clean, but the reality of it is, does the rest of the package justify the price? Could you not get this in this condition anywhere else? Hell no. Anyway, I'm gonna spastically put this back together, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. I'm not gonna.
Okay, and he's gonna give us his final thoughts, and we're not gonna jump to that. We're gonna jump to something else. Let's watch another guy get what he got. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this video is from Jacob R. He bought a PlayStation 3 from DKoldies, and let's take a look and see what he found on the inside.
Now, first thing you'll see on this side, you got your DKoldies warranty sticker. We're gonna take that off, take this little piece off, and then we'll slide the cover off, and then take a bunch of screws out. All right, guys. So I took the top cover off, and as you can see,
I'm glad for that jump cut, because those are not fun taking apart.
a bunch of dust in here. Yeah, there you go. That's a better view. But you can see all that dust in there. I can just run my finger across it and pick up a bunch of dust. And then
That's gross.
Even worse, I took out the hard drive. And guys, look at that. That is just bad. There's dust flying all around my room now. Oh my.
Yeah, that's refurbished. Yeah, this is what happens when you buy a lot of stock, like you said earlier. When you just have to buy just an influx of stock, you just test it, and if it's good, you go. And that's what it looked like. Based on the fact that those stickers are on that guy's testing bench, he just flopped it on there, and it was good to go. That makes no sense. There should be an ingress point test, the cleaning or repairing, or then repairing, then cleaning, and then a second tester. That's the only way this stuff would make any sense. It takes at least 4 stations, and I work on electronics for a living. Stuff like this, it just can't slip by, and it's happening to so many YouTubers and so many people.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that side. Terrible. And let me just show you inside of the hard drive bay. All right, yeah. So just looking inside of that, you can see dust just hanging out in that hard drive bay. Just awesome to see. Let's go ahead and take the rest of the cover off. See what it looks like on the inside. I don't have much hope for the inside of this thing, but we'll see what it looks like. All right, guys, time for the big reveal. I got all the screws off on the top. Let's go ahead and pull this cover all the way off and see what it looks like inside. Oh man.
Yikes. Okay. This machine wasn't refurbished, not even slightly. And yeah, I'm gonna jump away from that just because of that. All right. So based on the evidence that we've seen so far, I would conclude that you probably should get your old retro gaming consoles somewhere else. Do I think they're inherently a scam? No. Do I think they refurbish their consoles the way they say they do? No. They still give you the console, but I guess it's kind of a scam. They do kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, they kind of scam you out of the fact that they're telling you that this stuff is refurbished, this stuff has been done, and it just simply hasn't. I would recommend eBay or your local flea market or something like that. Like, I get it, eBay does have good buyer protections and stuff like that, so if it is an unworking system, you can fight it. They do have good customer service, which we did see, which is a good thing, but they're missing the initial mark. You want to really have something that you are testing, and that something is being done before it even is a problem type thing. You want to make sure you test the machine when it comes in. If it fails, go right to a repairs department, then go from the repairs department to the cleaning department. Preferably, I would actually wish the repairs and the cleaning department were the same department, but that's beside the point. And then from that to another tester, then to get the certified approval. And it's one of those things where you don't want the tester and the repairer to be the same person. That makes no sense. And they're just missing very easy check marks. And it's kind of crucial to hit these goals if you're going to be selling these things for nearly 3 times the price everyone else is selling them for. And I have a bunch of cool videos coming out besides this. We have another Pokemon card unboxing. I went a little bit slower that time. It should be super cool if you guys like it. And I'm going to be doing other things. I have weirdly enough, a PS2 that I'm going to be taking apart and cleaning, and a GameCube that I'm going to be taking apart and cleaning. And then I have a disc surfacer thing that I will be giving my opinion on. We have a bunch of cool new stuff coming out, and you know what? Think about sticking around. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And you know what? Don't waste your money on, scams. Essentially, just don't waste your money on people that are selling you snake oil. Like if they're saying they're cleaning and refurbishing it, and no one's seen any evidence of it, take it with a grain of salt. The only person I've seen defending these people or someone that has sold stuff to them, and that's a grain of salt, dude. That doesn't really count. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.